Now I can hear you. How are you, Mickey?
I'm great, teacher. Thank you very much. And you?
Fine, thanks.
Excellent.
Had a very nice dinner with my girlfriend, with a very dear friend. He helped me enter the doctorate degree in Aguascalientes. It's an interinstitutional program with the University of Guanajuato,
Mm,
Autonomous University of Querétaro, Aguascalientes, Michoacán, and Colima. It's an interinstitutional doctoral program. And this person, he knows your dad. He knows your dad. His name is Alex Garcia. He's a great friend, and he helped me enter this program. So we had a anniversary dinner with my girlfriend and him to
that's great, teacher.
celebrate the entrance in the doctoral degree. How was your day, Mickey?
What's good, teacher? Yesterday I bought some tickets to resell uh, for the match of America versus Chivas, and I was trying to sell them, and thanks to God, now I sold them. So I'm I'm good. I was doing some homeworks. I I went back to the gym. I wasn't training for around one 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 week and a half. I wasn't training, and today I came back to the gym.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, we talk very much about richness, what success, what happiness is, and in reality, happiness is having the family, having health. Health is incredibly important, and well, if you have health, if you have family, if you have a job, or if you have the basics like good atmosphere, friends, a nice, well, I cannot say a peaceful environment because in Irapuato, in this moment, it's not possible to have peace,
No,
but we are not involved in any bad business or anything. So
yeah,
we have more to thank God than to complain or anything. What do you think, Mickey? Don't you agree?
yeah, no, absolutely. I think that we are so um,
Privileged?
privileged or blessed. Obviously, Irapuato is not the best city to live now, but thanks of God, uh, nothing happened to my family, and I think that nothing happened to your family too. So
Yeah,
it is good. Thanks of God.
exactly. Yeah, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Now, we had a topic recently which refers to living well. That's a very interesting topic. When you think about what is living well, you say, well, what is living well really? Because sometimes people say, well, I have money, or I have a nice car, I have a nice house, I have this or I have that. What is really to live well? What is the meaning of living well? When you think about it, what is living well?
Living well, probably living well, at least for me, is when you live happy with the things and with the things that around you, with your family, with uh, probably that you don't need anything else to live. I think that that's living well.
Anything else to live? Okay, the things that we don't need, those are clear. But what are the things that we need? Of course, we need food. We need food. What else do we need? We need clothing. We
Um,
need shelter.
Shelter, yeah. Mm, we need air.
Air, well, of course. And most likely, preferably clean
Hmm.
air, right?
Clean
Preferably,
air.
if possible. Do you need a social circle, maybe?
Yeah, probably it's
Social
not like
circles.
like basic need, but at the end, I think that human beings are social, and at the end of the day, we need to live and share our time with people.
Would it be fair to call it secondary need? Would it be okay to call it like that?
Yeah,
Okay, secondary needs. And secondary needs, we have a social circle. Um, you are a good person, you're a hardworking citizen. Eventually, people will say in 10, 20, 30 years, will say, oh, look at Mickey. He's done so much for Irapuato, or he's done so much for Guanajuato, or he's done so much for Mexico. It wouldn't be any bad to say to get some recognition, right?
yeah,
Maybe at the
recognition too.
moment you're not looking for it precisely, but if people said, "Ah, look, we're gonna honor Mickey because in his 30 years of working or living in Irapuato or in Guanajuato or in Mexico, he's brought so much business, he's brought so much well-being, he's brought so many good ideas, he has developed different ways of doing business, he has made good contracts, good negotiations with companies from Europe, Asia, maybe Oceania and Africa. I don't know. Many things can happen in 10, 20, 30 years. So people say, we're going to give an honor, we're going to give a diploma, we're going to give a little emblem to Mickey for his work as a good businessman for Irapuato. That recognition is not bad, is it?
No, yeah, of course. It is great, and and I think that it is necessary too, because sometimes obviously it's not like something that we need, but of course we like that people recognize our work, recognize the things that we normally do.
Exactly. Recognition. And then maybe I don't know if I would like to call them tertiary needs or some kind of other type of need. But one day, maybe you will have some students, you will tutor some people, you will have some disciples, you will have someone to advocate for your legacy. And then you will say, well, I need to give them some advice. That will be not necessarily like a spiritual insight, but maybe you will have your own children. Maybe you will get married and have a family, and your kids will need your values, your morals, your teaching, your insights. That's something that you maybe at this moment, when you're single, maybe you don't have many disciples at the moment, but one day you might have them. And then you're going to feel very well when some people follow your legacy. What do you think about that idea?
Um, yeah, it is great. Um, of course, it's not something that I'm thinking now, but, but maybe I don't know in 20 years.
20 years, right? You're going to give some spiritual insights, moral values, maybe ethical code of conduct in business. Maybe people will read one of your books. Maybe you will write a book in 5, 10, 15 years from now about how to do business ethically. And people will say, hey, look, did you buy Mickey's book? Which book? Oh, Ethical Code of Conduct in Business. Oh, yeah, I bought it recently. That's a great book. He shows you how to be a fair person, how to do trade ethically, how to be fair with your clients, how to give them value. Well, maybe that will happen one day. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, that will be something that I would like to do. Yeah,
Maybe
of
one
course,
day, right?
maybe one day.
Okay, so well, that's all great. Now the question: why some people don't live well? Why some people don't live well? That's I know that's a sudden question. Why?
Mm, at the beginning, because not all people have the basic needs to live.
Not all people have the basic
Yeah,
needs life or the basic needs of what?
yeah, of life to live.
But however, everything is available apparently. I mean, there are public schools, there are good people, lots of good people, lots of generous people who would give them inside schooling, lessons, teaching, knowledge, experience for free. If someone comes to me and tells me, hey, what do I need to do to be happy? I would tell them probably be honest, be happy, work hard, share, ask people who have knowledge and relate to people who have connections acquiring power who can share something. So it's not that the knowledge is not available, but these people don't know about that. There are lots of people who are in the wrong way, lots of criminals, lots of bandits, lots of people who will end up in the grave. And they will end up in the grave because they don't follow the rules of life. But why? Have you thought about that, Mickey? Why some people don't go through the right way?
Um, Probably it's because uh, I think that humans in general always want to get more in any aspect, and at the end they don't feel uh, satisfied with the things or with the achievements that they have done.
Achievements they have gotten, right? Or they have got. Well, that is called greed, and greed can have a good aspect. I want to have a nicer house. I want to have a better home. I want to have a better car. I want to have a better job. That is legal. However, why some people prefer to take something from someone rather than ask for it? In other words, why some people, excuse me,
What is it? Sure.
thank you, prefer to grab rather than ask for it? Why some people prefer to grab, to take something away from other person, a piece of bread. Maybe I am hungry, right? So I see a person in the street and I say, excuse me, madam, I'm very hungry. Would you share that piece of bread with me because I have not eaten in 3 days? But some people say, well, I'm very hungry. I'm going to take it from this old man or this old woman and run away. That happens. Why? Why is that?
Mm, Obviously, I'm not trying to justify those actions, but sometimes when people have a need or have the necessity of something, normally they don't think more about it. Yeah, just they act, and I think that they don't analyze all the possibilities or all the things that could happen after that.
People don't analyze the consequences of their acts when they are in need. Well, that is a very humanitarian thought. So that's let's call it uh, is what do you call this in Spanish is something that diminishes the gravity or the graveness of the sin of the problem, right? Alleviate their pain, right? So there is a technical word for that. Something makes it grosser or more serious, and something is the opposite. There is a word for that. I don't remember the word, but yeah, that
Mhm.
is true. That is true. Well, that's why people invented the law, right? And for
Yeah.
that, there are many, many aggravants. They call it in Spanish atenuante, right?
Okay.
Atenuante in Spanish, which I don't remember the word in English, which I have it in the tip of my tongue, is no, it's not deterrent. Deterrent is something that drives you away from committing a crime or doing something bad. That is a deterrent. Is that diminishes the pain, diminishes the penalty, right? There is a word for that. I don't remember at this moment, Mickey. Okay, well, that is very important, and I thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Uh, how can we contribute, not as a person, as a system? How can we contribute for people in general to live better? As a system, how can you make the system work in favor of the people? Not you, because you have great ideas. Not Mitch, because Mitch, your dad, your mom, myself, many people individually have great ideas on how to make life better. How can we make a system stronger as a system?
Mm, trying to create equality among all the parts. I think that sometimes there's a big, um, how to say, inequality.
Yeah, well, there is inequality. However, some expositors or some philosophers will say, but Mickey, we are not equal. I work 12 hours a day. I work 14 hours a day. And there are some kids that work 3 hours a day. Why should I make the same if I work 12, 15 hours a day than those kids that work 3 hours and the rest they just watch TV? What's your argument against that?
Unfortunately, in the society, um, if you know more about something or if you have more knowledge, you have better jobs, or you have connections, you have better jobs. So at the end of the day, I think that it's not the physical effort that you give to something, it's the knowledge and the time that you took to stay, well, to stay in that place or to stay in that position. Obviously, I'm not saying that it's fair, but it's something that happens.
This is reality. And I agree totally with you. Uh, is there a limit to wealth? In other words, we are a rich nation. We are a rich nation. And however, regardless of being extremely rich, 40% of the working people don't make enough to fulfill the basic basket. What do you think of this comment?
Mm, yeah, obviously, it is awful because there are people who, like I said, who give more physical effort, who give more time to do a specific work, and it's not, um how do you say, well paid or good paid. Mm, how do you say it, teacher?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're saying it. That's exactly right. But now I have a comment. Let me ask you, let me make this comment. Elon Musk makes than more than maybe 50 times more money than I do. Yes, maybe 50, maybe 100 times, maybe 1,000 more. However, he cannot sleep 8 times 50 hours. What, 400? hours per day. Do you agree with this statement, Mickey?
You
I
can
don't know if
sleep.
you can read it.
Yeah. Elon Musk makes more than 50 times more money than I do. However, he cannot sleep 8 for 50. 8 per 15 equals 100, 400 hours per day.
Right? Nor
Yeah.
he can eat. I eat half a kilogram. What about that? I can eat half a kilogram of meat. Well, Elon Musk makes 50 times more money. So, can he eat 25 kilograms of meat?
Nope.
No, he can't. Um, and this is gonna sound a bit, well, I don't know who's gonna sound, but right, I can. I'm with my girlfriend, right? But he cannot be with 50 girls. He cannot, right? He can be very rich, but he doesn't have the energy. He doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the what is needed to be with 50 people. Yes.
Yeah.
So what the question? I'm not saying this just for nothing. The question is, where is the threshold? Where is the limit? I don't know if the point is more or less clear. ¿Dónde está el umbral? ¿Dónde está el límite? What is the limit?
Hmm.
What do you think of this?
Mm, well, yeah, at the end of the day, probably we don't have all the material things that the most rich people have. But at the end of the day, we have the same time. Probably we are humans, so at the end of we have the same energy or almost the same energy than the other persons, and then that sometimes it is necessary to have 50 times more money because probably he couldn't spend it or he couldn't use it, and well, yeah, that probably time and energy will be a limit.
Yeah. Well, I don't, it doesn't worry me if Elon Musk says, well, I make a lot of money. I'm going to eat maybe not 25 kilograms. I'm going to eat 15 kilograms of meat or 5 kilograms of meat today. Well, that's his right. It's his money, right? But the problem is not that. The problem is that there are thousands of or millions of people who don't have enough food to eat, who don't have a shelter to sleep. And of course, the argument, well, don't have babies. That is a bit rude. Yeah, it may be true, but for the moment, they don't have to eat. So I don't know if it looks too idealistic or we are trying to romanticize the poverty, which we're not. We are not trying to do that. But it doesn't look like a waste that people have thousands, millions of pesos or dollars and have plenty of food to eat while there are so many people who don't have the basic needs. I don't know how to feel about that. Maybe some people don't feel anything. And there are people who don't feel anything. There are people who don't care. I don't know. What do you think about this, Mickey?
Yeah, it is something that uh, I've been thinking for a long time, and that's why there exist different economic systems. I think so. Obviously, um, there will be people who say that um, if someone have more money or if someone have more goods, why is not distributed to all the rest of people? But um, I don't know. Probably yeah, there must be a balance, but it is unfair to take something of someone who in part works for that or who gives his or her time, her money, his money to do that or to complete that, and give to the rest of people who is not doing that. Obviously, it's my opinion, but I don't think that it's fair.
And now let me ask you a question. Is it fair to think that you can make a fortune and at the same time that you wish for the rest of the people to live well? In other words, people sometimes polarize situations. I like money. Oh, that means that you hate poverty, that you hate
Mm-hmm.
poor people.
Yeah.
Or, well, I like to help the community. Oh, you're a communist. You don't like money. No, wait, wait a second. Is it fair to say that I like to live well? I like to make good money. I like to work hard, to have a nice house, to have a nice job, to make good money. But at the same time, that I wish for the rest of the people to live well? I mean, why people think that if I like money, I hate poor people? Or if I like to help the society, oh, you hate money. Why? Is it possible to like both things? What do you think, Mickey?
Yeah, of course. I think that in everything there must be a balance, and if you have the chance to help other people, as you say, it doesn't mean that you don't like money or that you don't like have good cars or you don't like spend money in restaurants. At the end of the
Exactly.
day, if you can share your money to help others and to improve the life of someone else, I think that it's great and um, and yeah, I think that it's something necessary because uh, unfortunately there are a small quantity of people who have the money to help more people. But if we are part of that group of people, why don't help the other group of people? You know?
Right, exactly, exactly. So the question would be then, how can you be a good patron and make a good living? How
Hmm.
can you do that? How can you be a good patron? That means that you help good causes. You help. You help. How do you call this? You're a generous contributor for good causes, right? There
Yeah.
are good causes that you can help. However, you like to live well. There's nothing wrong
Hmm.
with that. Yes. How can
Hmm.
that be? How could you do that, Mickey? If you had to do that, how could you be a good patron and make a good living?
Mm, if you were being fair, I think that when you're fair with other people, at the end of the day, uh, you're gonna be fair with you too. So I always believe that when you help someone else, or when you're good with someone else, everything uh, comes back. So I think that you'll receive it too.
So you believe in the principle of retribution?
Mm, I don't know exactly what does it mean. The words obviously sounds in my head, but I don't know if there's like a exact definition or exact meaning.
Well, I believe that you're gonna be very close to what you think. What comes to your mind when you see this phrase? principle of retribution?
Um, like when you obviously get a benefit, but at the same time you um, help others, or you try to give something to the other people too.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Retribution normally means that you harvest what you sow. You harvest what you sow. If you sow spinaches, you will harvest spinaches. In other words, if you sow good, you will harvest good. Si
Yeah.
plantas espinacas, vas a cosechar espinacas. If you plant good, you will harvest good. Right? That's like a normal consequence of your acts, don't you think?
As a consequence that if you if you do good things, you're gonna receive good things.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this is in your mind. Very surely it is in the family's mind. But the question is, how can we make this a system? Because you say, well, there are great sportsmen. Yeah, but they are the result of a singular effort. There is a great painter. Well, yeah, one painter, because it's the result of a singular effort of a family, one family. The other day I saw a great benefactor. Yeah, well, that is the consequence of one family or one person. But if you want to make a system that everyone is like that everyone has a feeling of solidarity, that everyone has a feeling of sharing, that everyone has a feeling of comradeship you want to share with your friends, uh, how do you establish, how do you design, how do you create a system? How do you create a system in which we want to share something with the less uh, privileged? Yeah, okay. You are privileged, you have a higher education, you have a fantastic family, you have a nice atmosphere, you live in a nice place, you have a nice education, nice school, everything. How can you create a system in which you share something with the less privileged? Not you as a person, not you as a family, but the society. Is that possible? How can we do it?
Mm, hmm, Probably. Um, I think that there are some activities that, if we focus on other people, we could do big changes. For example, um, probably it's going to be a full example, but I've noticed that in buffets or in um, hotels and resorts, obviously they have a lot of food, and I know that a majority of food that they don't, um, well, that is not served to other people, they just throw it up. Or how do you say it?
Throw it away. Yeah, throw it
Yeah,
away.
throw it away. And I think that, for example, if we change those little activities, we can have uh, mm, good results. Obviously, if this food you're not using anymore, why you don't share to people who need it, or why you don't uh, give to the people who really needs? I think so. It's one
Yeah,
example.
that is
Mm,
a great example. Yes, Mickey, continue.
Probably another example could be. Uh, mm, I don't know, giving spaces to people who is not enough privileged to, for example, do exercise or to have direct. how do you say, recreativity or activities, like playing football or, yeah, recreation activities, recreation activities. I
Yeah.
think I think that if we focus on that, if we focus at the people who probably could fall to drugs or to addictions, probably if we focus since they are young, then since they are kids, probably we could change a little bit the fate that so many people um, of those places normally go.
Well, I tell you something. Today in the morning, I was chatting with Professor Alfredo, teacher Alfredo, who's a very excellent person too. He's a very great guy. He's about my age or slightly younger. And he said to me that he had a great experience with his students, junior high students. You know what he did a few years ago?
Mm-mm.
He took them he took them to a correctional center.
Oh, okay.
A correctional center
Mm-hmm.
for youngsters.
Oh,
His students almost faint. They say, "What? This kid is so young. He's 14, 15 years old, and he already has two, three victims. He has already committed two serious crimes, and they are here purging the penalty. And they're gonna be 17. Oh, this guy is 17, and he's gonna turn 18, and he's not gonna be set free. He's gonna continue to a major prison. He's gonna be here 5, 10 years,
yeah,
eating second or third class food, chatting with, sorry to say this, but second, third, fourth class people, spending time in prison while his parents are crying every day, every night. Their mother is saying, "Oh, my kid in prison." And that visit to this correctional center, this penitentiary, changed their life for the better. Of course, they say, "Oh man, how can this be? And I am wasting my time doing this, doing that." And he told me this anecdote today, this morning. I says, "Wow, what a situation in which you visit a penitentiary, because those people normally are invisible, right? You don't talk about them every day. You don't see them every day. You talk about school, about your friends, about food, about nice things, but normally we don't talk about the invisible part of society." And that makes them reflect, that made them think of how lucky they were. And that, he says, changed their life for the better. What do you think of this, Mickey?
yeah. I think that sometimes, I would say that, including myself, I think that we live like in a sphere, and we don't know the rest of things that are happening in, probably not too, um, how can I say, away, or not
Aware,
too,
not too aware,
like lejos de,
far from.
oh yeah, not too far from for houses. And I think that when you see a different context, you can understand so many things, and you can understand probably why this person is in that place, or why this person is suffering, or why his friends, his family have the same, unfortunately, the same fate or the same destiny. So that, I think that it's necessary to sometimes uh, go go out of our sphere, and see the things that are happening in our same city, in our same, um yeah, in our same context. I think that sometimes we need to uh, think more about people.
sometimes. Yeah, that's totally true. I'm gonna share a phrase that I learned today from this friend of mine. I was with my girlfriend and this friend who's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's wife, he said to us today during the dinner, he said to
Mm-hmm.
us that one day his wife was in her van, and a beggar approached, and she said, "Here, here, thanks." And her husband, my friend, said to her, "Well, you are giving money to this kid. Why do you say thanks?" And you know what she responded? I
No.
said thanks because I am on the side of the giving, not of the asking for. That's what she responded. Could
Wow.
you read it, please?
Yes. I say thanks because I'm on the side of the giving, not of the asking for.
Yeah. What do you think of this comment?
Wow. It blows my mind.
Yeah. She says, "Thank you very much. Thank you, God, because I am on the side of the person who gives, not on the person who is asking for."
Yeah.
Uh, and sometimes we ignore or we forget that we are very privileged because we have an education, we have a position in society, we have a position in the family, we have a family. And oh man, I am to this moment thinking of this phrase of my friend's wife, right?
Yeah. Well. Hmm.
And it is a truly amazing response. I never thought of that.
No.
Here,
Me neither.
some coin, some money, thank you. But why thank you? He says, well, because I'm on this side. I could be on the other side, right?
Yeah, that is true.
And that is unbelievable. Well, that is a privilege. Well, that was just a reflection. That was just a reflection. And obviously, um, it makes you think of so many things that we are not aware of. And you like to use that phrase, right? To be
Hmm.
aware of and not to be aware of, right?
Yeah.
To be aware of and not to be aware of. Okay, well, that's an interesting topic just to reflect a little bit. Well, that is one thing. The other thing I wanted to discuss today is uh, all the things that are necessary to live well, and to live well, people live well in different ways. What is your personal opinion of living well, Mickey? What makes you happy in general? And that is different for everyone, of course, right? For example, in my case, living well is having someone to chat with, right? Having companionship at home, of course. Company is always important. Uh, my family, that includes my daughters, my brothers, my mom, my friends, of course, my friends, my students, my school. That is my family. What about you, Mickey?
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Um, I think that my definition of living well has been changing through the years. I think so. For example, in the past, I would say that for me, living well is going out for vacations or going out uh, to places or activities that normally I don't used to. But now I would say that living well for me are the ordinary activities. For example, uh, ch- eat with my family, um, have a chat with my mom or with my dad, going to the school. I think that now the ordinary things are the things that makes me happy. In obviously, um, stay in the sofa with my cats. Unfortunately, I don't know where is Kira, but it was one of the things that I most enjoyed.
That is an amazing issue, Mickey, to be able to enjoy life with simple things, apparently simple things, right? Being able to enjoy the simplest things of life is a real gift. Well, now that you mentioned about Kira, she has not appeared yet.
No, she hasn't. Uh, I've been thinking a lot about it because I make some like scenes in my head that what what could happen, but no, I don't have an answer. I I deliver papers with her picture, with information. I post in social media. I share in my social media. Mm, I talk with the securities here in the how do you say
Neighborhood?
in the cluster. Yeah, and no, nobody has information. Also, I think that probably someone else. I don't know, a visitor, someone took her, and I hope so because I wouldn't like to think that probably she fell in the yard behind my house, and because there are a lot of dogs and there are a lot of other animals or people that probably uh, are not good or they don't, well,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that they're not good. Probably they don't care a lot about animals and probably they seem like it's just another cat, you know.
yes. I know how it feels. I know how it feels.
Yeah.
We had a couple of times when the kittens left, and most often than not, most of the times they came back. Yeah, there were a couple of times when they never came back, and that was so depressing. That was sad. But then you had to just move on. But yeah, it can take up to 2, 3 weeks. 2, 3 weeks. I think one time it took more than 2, 3 weeks for the cat to come back.
Mm,
But there was 1 or 2 times when they never came back. So I mean, I know how you feel. I know how you feel, Mickey, and I sympathize with you because
thank you.
sometimes you start thinking, well, maybe this happened. Maybe somebody took it. Maybe it was the dogs. Maybe a rat. Maybe a scorpion. Something could have happened, and you start thinking and thinking and thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is the worst because you don't have an answer. You're just still thinking and thinking, and I think that um, when you are uh, when you increase your thoughts about it, you start to worry more and more and more, and it is worst.
oh, yeah. Well, in this case, there is no better remedy than patience. Sometimes patience.
Yeah,
And there is a movie that I think we talked about this one time, long time ago. But this money remains in my brain, in my head. Remember the survivors of the Andes?
yeah, yeah. Of course.
You ever saw the movie, the documentary?
Uh, I have never seen the movie, but I think that we saw a part of the documentary, and I know more or less the story.
Yeah. There was a point in time when two guys, three guys, I think was Canesa and two other guys, I forgot their names, Parado, Nando Parado, Nando Parado. And a third guide decided to go from uh, from the crowd, and they said, we're going out. We're looking for the exit. We're looking for the solution.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just gonna starve to death here. And they left the place, and that was a great decision because that saved their life. Nando Parrado and Roberto Canessa. Yeah, let's see if there is like an interview of 2 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. That is just an amazing decision that saved their lives. Let me see. There is 19 minutes is too long. Let's see 2 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Miracles of leadership. 11 minutes, 8 minutes. Well, there's 1 of 5 minutes. Let's just look at a
Yeah,
little bit of this interview. It's 5 minutes, but we cut it in 2 or 3 minutes just to see what it is.
yeah, it's okay.
Um, this is great because let me see classes here. Give me a second, please. Classes here. Here's the link, Mickey. I'm gonna post it too in the StreamYard here.
Okay,
It's
take it.
5 minute video. Let's take a look at a couple of minutes only, please.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if you may wish to share or you can watch it on your own. Here, I'm gonna share the screen.
Are you gonna share the screen? Ah, okay.
Yes, here it is. Nando Parrado, the Andes Plane Crash Survivor. Well, the, the subtitles
I
are in
think that
English, in Spanish. Let me see if I can change the subtitles to
or if you wish,
English.
I can see it in my computer
Here.
because I cannot hear
Okay, okay,
the audio.
okay. Yes, Mickey, please.
Okay.
Well, okay. Uh, what do you think, Mickey?
Wow, it's something uh, unbelievable. I would imagine the the suffer that those people passed, the uh, how is it, desperation? It is,
Desperation. That's exactly the word.
yeah, and how a team could, in a way, uh, continue with their lives, because probably if they weren't a team, like the last phrase that he told, that probably if it would be a commercial plane, probably the things will be completely different. But the the good part here is that they were a team, and they know each others, and that they know in a way how to deal with that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. And one thing that makes you think deeply is that they were not looking for a better job, they were not looking for a profit, or they were not looking to get fame or recognition. They were looking for survival,
Yeah,
something quite basic. They wanted to continue living. And if you look up some more documentaries about the survivors of Andes, and among them this guy Nando Parrado and the other Canesa, they have a recount of amazing, amazing stories of the same event, how people become just outstanding. And think of this: you are 21, 22 years old. You're very mature. You're a very smart kid, and so is Mitch, of course. But imagine having to take these life or death decisions at 18, 19 years old, in which you make a slight mistake, you die, or your friends die, and you make a correct decision, and then you survive. It's hard to picture ourselves in this type of situation, but just imagine what would have been. Makes you thrill, right?
yeah, of course. Um, Obviously, I've seen cases where when people have the adrenaline so high is when they act and they do things that probably you never imagine, because when you have like this feeling that probably your life is in risk, or your life could be could finish in that moment, I think that is when you and your body reacts in a way that you don't expect.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's a very good thought. Very good thought. It would be nice if for next session we could think of just outstanding performances of people of any age. It doesn't have to be young. It can be adults. Can be old. Age, I don't think is a matter. It's a fact of concern. But it would be very nice to think of cases in which people just made amazing decisions that created something positive, maybe a survival situation, a discovery, a great invention, something outstanding out of extreme situations. So, how could we call this? That would be research situations. I would say, let me see if I can record this or frame this in the correct way.
Hmm.
Research situations in which a guy or some people found or did an extreme achievement due to the need to survive or something, right? Research situations in which a guy or a group of people did an extreme achievement or feat, an extreme feat, an extreme activity due to the need to survive or achieve something superior. Let's call it superior. That can be survival, of course. What do you think of this task, Mickey, this activity?
Yes, teacher, it sounds interesting. Um, I like it. I've seen some videos of people. For example, I remember it was a YouTube video where a survivor of the attack of 9/11 tells a story about how he can save, I don't know, uh, 3 or 5 people that they were down the, how do you say, stones, or how can I say the,
Yeah, the debris.
and yeah, there are a lot of cases where when you have this adrenaline, you can see things that you never expect.
Okay. Well, it'll be nice to be able to see that. So probably when next you have time Friday or you can't? Maybe Saturday and Sunday.
I can't teach her on Friday because I have a trip with my school. We're gonna go to Querétaro. I think that to Freixenet is called the.
Oh, Freixenet, yeah, it's a winery.
Yeah, it's a winery, and
Freixenet, yeah.
we're gonna visit there, and well, it's my last trip in the school.
Fabulous. Enjoy the trip. It's a great organization. And so,
Thank you, sir. Yeah, could be on Saturday. Probably on Sunday I can't because I told you that I'm doing like a new uh, how say this in emprendimiento. How do you say it, teacher?
undertaking entrepreneurship.
Yeah, an entrepreneurship. And then I go to Leon to buy some things in the morning. So probably I can't on at least that is in the afternoon, but I don't know if Mitch can.
Okay. So, well, but Saturday morning from 8 to 9, probably, I'm sure you can,
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure that I can. Hmm.
Okay, so let's see. Class on Saturday, 8 to 9, right? That be okay?
Yeah, and if you wish, we can define the other day on Saturday, probably on Sunday in the well, not too late, or the next week.
Of course, absolutely. Okay, well, very good, Mickey. Well, thank you very much for sharing your ideas, your comments. See you on Saturday, 8 to 9. All right, take care
Yes, sure.
and
See
enjoy,
you on
Mickey.
Saturday.
Have a wonderful
See you on
day.
Saturday. Thank you for your time.